Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Another episode, PlayCallers Sports Talk. This will be seen on 9/5/2025. It's your boy Cool McCain, your host, and I'm joined by one of my rotating panel of sports talk royalty, Mr. Cole Johnson in the building. What's going on, Cole?
Oh man, sports talk royalty. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, cool. Thank you for inviting me back onto your platform. Uh, enjoying
Oh,
this.
thank you for coming, sir. Thank you for coming.
hmm
So we'll
hmm
be able to see Mr. Cole Johnson rocking with me every first uh,
First
Friday.
Friday.
And if he's able to make other appearances, then we can definitely work him into the rotation if he needs to. But definitely he'll
Right,
be
right.
rocking with us every first week. I don't want to take up too much of everybody's time, but y'all get to see my face every week. You're welcome. I'm just kidding. Maybe not.
Welcome.
But we're gonna keep it smooth, guys. We're in definitely in a football dominated time of year, so that's what we're gonna be talking about for the most part. We're gonna hit you with some just a couple news and notes from college football. We'll review a couple of games from last week, top 25, and then of course we'll hit you with our picks for the top 25 for this week. Mr. Johnson's already done that, but this gives him an opportunity. Maybe you want to make a few changes, some amendments to what he initially thought as we get closer to those games. So
hmm
get into it, y'all. All right,
All right.
Cole. Any college football news you'd like to slide out there to the people?
Yeah, there's a few things. Let me see. Let's start with which one I want to start with. All right, I guess I'll start with this one. So there's more than 8,300 NIL, and for those who don't know what that is, it's names, image, and likeness deals worth $80 million approved by a new commission. Now, the new College Sports Commission has cleared more than 8,300 name, image, and likeness deals. Said this on Thursday in its first full update on how the new system is working. The commission, which is in charge of approving contracts worth $600 or more dollars, it is, between college athletes and third-party companies, it said that the round number of 28,342 students signed up for this Go platform between June 11th when it launched and August 31st. Nearly 3,200 quote representatives, close quote, or agents had also signed up. Now, the platform was created as part of the House settlement, which allows schools to pay athletes directly for their NIL while also offering them a chance to make money from outside groups. NIL Go is in charge of analyzing the outside deals. All right. So you hear this. What do you think?
Foolishness is what I think, sir. That's my thing. Foolishness. So you're gonna have a platform that's responsible for
Mm-hmm.
monitoring NIL deals.
Mm-hmm.
We know some things are gonna slip through the cracks. There's no possible way
Oh,
they're not.
yes.
There's no possible
Oh,
way.
yes.
To me, it
Oh,
just
yeah.
gives. We want to have the illusion that we are trying to control NIL, when really we don't give a fudge. That's what it looks like to me.
That's exactly what it looks like to me. And you've heard me say this. The NCAA wants to control this NIL because they want a piece of that action. They want a part of this money, and they hate the fact that they don't have any control over it.
Agreed.
Well, they said that the 332 deals had not been cleared to date, and 75 have been resubmitted, while none had entered arbitration, which is available for parties who feel their deals have been wrongly rejected. Well, I smell a mess on the horizon with that. Well,
Hot.
from NIL deals to the transfer portal window. Yes, another college football mess. So the
Another
NCAA has
thing.
yes. So the NCAA has voted for single football transfer portal window. Now the major changes are coming to it after the NCAA FBS Oversight Committee voted on Thursday to move to a January transfer window and eliminate the spring window. Now, the proposed loan transfer window would be a 10-day period, which would open January 2nd. if it was going to start next year, January 2nd of 2026, one day after the college football playoff quarterfinals are completed. The Division I Administrative Committee must approve the legislative changes before it can take effect, and that vote is expected to occur October the 1st. The committee is also proposing making the entire month of December a recruiting dead period. Coaches would still be able to have contact with recruits, but would not be permitted to do on or off campus recruiting visits or evaluations. Oh, okay. Before I even go on this, your thoughts on the NCAA trying to actually limit the season to only one transfer portal window?
You can't be any stupider. To basically say you're going to give kids a week in January
Mm-hmm.
to make decisions about their future. And we're talking
Right.
kids here. Now, yeah,
Right.
someone might be like 20, 21, 22, or whatever, but we're talking kids here.
Mm-hmm.
The dead window in December for on-campus visits is stupid. Simply being because if you're football or if you're basketball, another sport, and you're wanting to recruit kids to come, when's the best time to recruit them? Oh, when you're in a bowl game or in a conference
Mm-hmm.
championship game, or when you're in the playoffs. So
Right.
you're going to tell them you're doing these things, but you can't have anybody come in and live that experience and use that as a way to sway them to come to your school.
Right.
You need to have multiple windows. You have multiple sports. If you want to limit football to then, that's even stupid. But it would you could at least see that. But to say
Yeah.
everyone who's going to transfer needs to do it in a window in January when you're in classes until like April, May.
Right. Mm-hmm.
This is why people don't respect you, NCAA, because you do things like this.
Yeah. Ridiculous, baseless things like this. And to your earlier point, which I'm glad you brought that up. Now, normally most colleges, you normally take midterms, what, first, second full week of December.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, when do you think schools will want to roll out the red carpet to new recruits? I mean, the one of the best times to do it would be just a little bit before Christmas. So, yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me that they're willing to do that. But I agree with you. If they want to limit to single portal windows, yes, do it for the sporting season. And even though I think I'm with you, even though I think that's ridiculous, I can see that. But no. But the elimination of the spring window, if approved, will generally be welcomed by coaches, but could come under scrutiny, as it should, and perhaps legal challenges for restricting the transfer movement of athletes. This season, the CFP semifinals will be held January 9th and 10th, while the national title game will be January 20th. Yeah, boy, it's going to be fun. And now to make my brother smile. Alabama's head coach, Kalen DeBoer, he still believes that he has a good football team, even after getting their butts trounced in Tallahassee 31-17 by Florida State. The season opening loss to the Seminoles, who went 2-10 last season, was the Crimson Tide's fifth loss in their past 10 games under DeBoer, who was hired January of 2024 to replace the now legendary coach of there, Nick Saban. DeBoer said during Wednesday's SEC coaches teleconference, quote, "My message is that our team is, I think we are a good football team that can do some big things still this year. We've got to prove it. We got to go do it." Close quote. Now, the Crimson Tide went 9-4 last year during his first season, and they lost more than 3 games. Only once in Nick Saban's time, which was 7-6 back in 2007. All right, now you got a chance to witness how Alabama looked absolutely putrid in Tallahassee. Do you believe that there's big things on the horizon still for the Crimson Tide?
No, I do believe they have a good team outside of the coach.
I agree. I agree with that. Yes, they do.
Yeah, so I agree. I agree with the statement that they have a good team.
Mhm.
But obviously, if you're the coach, you're not gonna come out and say I'm the problem because you want to keep your job,
Hmm.
your cush job. Sitting chilling in Alabama, people coming because they want to come to the school because of what has been in the past, while you just drive it right into the ground.
Hmm.
Um, it's going to be hard, in my opinion, for them to combat because the problem is the coach.
Yeah.
So coaching being the problem, it's hard to overcome that. If the problem was talent, then you could coach to your talent. But when the
Hmm.
problem seems to be coaching, that's a lot harder to overcome. And
Yeah.
that's going to be what's going to hold Alabama back, in my opinion. And I will enjoy that, by the way.
That's exactly why I gift wrapped that one to you because I'm like, yeah. And I cannot. There isn't a syllable I disagree with you on. Forget the sentiment. There isn't a syllable I disagree with you on. That team is talented. That team is loaded with talent.
Hmm.
But the boy he is their kryptonite if you think it's Superman
Yeah.
or Albatross or their weak link. I mean, he
Hmm.
does not have what it takes, and we got a chance to see it last year, and I think we're now seeing it this year. He doesn't have what it takes to be along the lines of the top tier programs. He has top tier talent, but he is not top tier in terms of head coaching. Now,
Right.
DeBoer said that he is trying to stay the course, heading to Saturday's home game against Louisiana Monroe, despite widespread criticism surrounding his program. No, 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 no. It's despite widespread criticism surrounding him.
Yes, not the program that people criticize, sir. It is you. You're the problem. Say you some
Yes.
Taylor Swift. It's me. It's me. It's the problem. It's me. That's what you need to be doing, sir.
Yes. So yeah, so after losing to Florida State, the Tide fell from 8 to now they're ranked 21st in AP Top 25, which that will make Cool Smile even brighter and whiter. And that's their lowest ranking since they were 24th back in 2008.
And they were being calm to keep them at 21.
Yeah, because they could have knocked them straight off of the top 25. Well, that's all the news and notes I have for the NCAA, unless you have some, sir.
I'm gonna refrain. Um, I feel like I did have some, but after reviewing them, I feel like the pettiness factor on them is a little higher than it needs to be. So I'm gonna refrain from adding anything to that. Thank you for those. Thank you for those notes there, sir.
Oh, no
Those were
problem.
more
Well,
down the middle than mine would have been.
yeah, yeah. Well, the last one was a small layup.
It was a much appreciated small layup too, sir. Much
Thank
appreciated.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so let's kind of hit over to the week one games and highlight a couple of those.
Okay.
So Ohio State
Hmm.
mm, did put in the work on Texas.
It did.
Ohio State with a 14-7 win, which doesn't even begin to explain how dominant they were in the game. There just wasn't a lot of scoring. But
Right.
Ohio State clearly was the team that came to play, and Texas did not.
See, this is what frustrates me. And of course, I'm a Texas Longhorn fan. This is what frustrates me. If you look at the stats, the Longhorns outgained the Buckeyes on the ground by
Mhm.
a margin of 100 yards.
Mhm.
And normally, when that happens, the team that gains more on the ground normally should have the scales of the balance tipped in their favor. But boneheaded decisions from the sideline, followed by poor execution on offense. And yeah, you could probably credit the Ohio State defense, but to me, I'm not going to say that Texas lost it more than Ohio State won it, but I will say that I believe Texas gift wrapped the game for Ohio State to take, and they did. And they didn't have to do much offensively to do it. All they had to do was basically not turn the ball over, and they've been fine. And that's exactly what they didn't do. And the defense basically took the game in their hands and thoroughly dominated a team in Texas where they didn't score a point until around 2 minutes to go in the game. So, yeah. So for those who think that the Longhorns are here, they're now at the top tier, they're now on the top shelf. No. They still have to go back to the drawing board. They still have to pull their big boy pants up, and they still have to come ready to be more physical than the big boys, and they're not ready yet.
Arch Manning even told everybody before the season, all off season, I'll start like 2 games. Like I'm still basically, as far as starting, I'm still a freshman. So he kind of let everybody know, like, don't have overly inflated expectations for me from the beginning. And it did. And now, of course, you're getting the requisite reaction. He's not good, and he's not this, and he's not that. That man played one of the best defenses in the country in one of his first few starts as a college, quarterback. He looked, I mean, he didn't look great, but, it's going to happen. You got to learn. Yeah. There's no quarterback that walks in and wins every game. So I think it's a learning experience. You'll see him, regain some of the luster. And trust me, all the vitriol that is being spewed at him right now, as soon as his granddad calls the meeting and say, hey, you better watch out. Talking about my grandson like that. And then he gets a couple of good games against some weaker schools under his belt. Yeah. Oh, it'll switch back to Glizzy Goblin all day long.
100.
And that's what it is. And I'll say this for Cole since he doesn't want to say it. Texas gave the game to Ohio State.
Sorry.
He don't want to say it. That's fine. I get it as a fan. You don't want to say certain things. I'll say it for him.
I just said it the nice way. I believe the Longhorns gift wrapped the game for him. I really believe they did.
Yeah, they gave it to him. I'm gonna go ahead and say it just as real as possible. I get it as a fan. You don't want to kind of throw that out in the universe, but I can throw that out in the universe because it ain't mine.
Right. and I can't disagree with you on it. Can't.
Yeah. We also had Florida State with a very shocking victory. We kind of talked about that earlier. Alabama and how they're looking. Florida State basically dominated Alabama.
Oh man.
They basically, I'll put it like this for you guys who may be casual college football fans. They basically pulled Alabama into a Diddy party and put baby lotion on them. That's how that went.
Oh no.
For the count of 31-17. And just to do a quick retraction or backup, I say not retraction, but backup. We were talking about Texas. Texas is now 7th and Ohio State's 1. So Texas is still a top 10 team, even after what went down last week. So that kind of give you an idea of how the country still sees Texas even after the loss. But yeah,
right.
Alabama, welcome to the Diddy party.
Oh, no. So you calling the Crimson Tide Diddy victims? Yeah. Oh man!
Basically, the way Florida State did them, they like Diddy victims.
Okay, well, I can't disagree with that. I mean, if you allow a team to run for 230 yards on you on the ground, that's where the defensive line coach is going to chew out every single one on the defensive line and say, you all have no nuts because you all do not possess any to stop a team that basically says we're more men than you and we'll prove it. And then summarily proved it by pushing you off the line time after time, play after play. You can't have a team dominate you like that in the line of scrimmage and expect to be competitive or respectful or respectable. It isn't the L to me that Alabama took. It's the way they took the L. Because I'm like, geez. Well, my guess maybe Florida State, maybe they do have something to them. But it looks like the Alabama does not. Because I mean, it was horrible. It was horrible.
It wasn't even as close as 31-17 either.
No,
it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Close.
Mm-mm. No, it was. I mean, it was a simple dismantling and a beat down, the butt whooping. And kudos to the Seminoles. This is the
Yeah,
best. This is the best you all looked in about 4 or 5 years.
yeah. This
And
is
I'm
better
and I'm
than
inc- and, yeah, and
they
I'm
looked.
including
They
the
looked.
undefeated season.
Yeah, it's better. It's definitely better than the undefeated season for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But that's why they ended up didn't make the playoffs because they they stumbled into the finish with a lot of hurt
right,
guys.
right.
And that's why they found a way to put Alabama in over them. So this is kind of
Mm-hmm.
like a little bit of recompense for Florida State. I think they took it very seriously.
Yeah, they did. They
So
did.
we'll shout out a couple of very lopsided victories here, and then there's just two more top 25 matchups we'll touch on. So Illinois decimated Western Illinois 52-3.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State put a good whooping on South Dakota 55-7.
Yeah, they did.
Penn State took a little easy on Nevada. They only put up 46-11. Georgia must have pulled their starters because they only put up 45-7 over Marshall.
Right.
Oregon put up 59 points on Montana State, 59-13. Texas A&M was actually in what you could consider a battle, 42-24 with University of Texas San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
Florida went to LIU and really treated them like they was at a Diddy party, 55-0. They ain't let them do nothing. They were tied up in the basement. They ain't let them do nothing. Texas Tech at 24 with a 67 burger on Arkansas Pine Bluff, 67-7. That's just mean. That's just mean.
That was mean.
That was just annihilation. And then speaking of 60-something burgers, Ole Miss at number 20 now put up a 63-7 driving of Georgia State. So yeah, that was some very lopsided victories. And my thing is, if you're playing these teams, this should be what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Right. If you're gonna play cupcakes, beat them down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're in it because they're getting that little taste of cash for it. You should be beating them down.
Yeah.
That's what you're showing dominance. If you can't go out there and really dominate these lesser teams, then maybe you're just not that good.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's your check. Now catch these hands. That's how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. You get your check. I'm not gonna say that. Oh, close. Very close. That one almost flipped.
Oh my.
Let's just say I'll put it like this: you get the money, we dominate. I'm gonna leave that there. Almost went too far. Almost went too far.
Diddy party. Oh my gosh.
All right, then we had LSU and Ron Kelly and his fake Southern accent go into the other Death Valley in Clemson and play the other Tigers. And another close game. But if you watch, Clemson kind of held it the first half and then forgot that there was two halves of football and lost 17-10 to LSU.
That was a disappointing part for me. Now I like LSU, except I'm not a Brian Kelly fan at all. Just never have been. No, I don't like Brian Kelly acting like he a Southern Baptist preacher and don't even live in the South. Clemson in the first half played the way I thought they were going to play. They were like, okay, you're in our house. We're making a statement. You're an SEC team. You're ranked in the top 10. We don't think you belong. In the first half, that's how they played LSU. And I agree with you. It was as if the players were like, okay, we got this game wrapped when it was 10-3 at a half, and both sides of the ball was a little lackluster. And to that end, and I said this Wednesday on Bearing Down the Gridiron. This was actually, to me, at least I said the best game, and you actually said the best half, and I sort of agree with. I sort of more agree with you. Brian Kelly coached the best half of football in the second half of this game that he's ever coached on any sideline. because he got his team focused, and his defense shut out the Tigers the rest of the way, and he managed the offense to actually score a touchdown each quarter, and
Mhm.
he seemed to be focused. He seemed to let his boys dictate the things that he needed to dictate. He didn't try to act all cute, and it's like, okay, we believe that we are more man than Clemson. We're gonna prove it, and I believe we have the players and we have the scheme to do it, and that was proven. And yeah, so kudos to LSU for going into Clemson, South Carolina, and pulling out a dub. That is not an easy task.
It's not, but I tell you what, boy, they made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, on to a game that gives me great pleasure. Uh,
I wonder why.
at the time, number 10, Miami Hurricanes of Florida.
Are
Not the
you?
but Miami Hurricanes of Florida. Um, pulled out a 27-24 victory over Notre Dame. The only thing I'm going to say is I am happy and elated that we won, but we did everything we could. Just like my pro team last night to give the game to the other team, but they just didn't want it.
So, are you going to hold it against the Canes that they had a 24-7 lead in the fourth quarter at one
I
point?
absolutely am. I absolutely am. I'm gonna give them all the props for winning because they maintained, but you have to do better than allowing the other team to score 21 points on you in a span of minutes. You're
Mm-hmm,
talking about like a 9-10 minute span in the fourth quarter.
mm-hmm.
I get it's Notre Dame. I get that they have that level of talent. That's why even after losing, they're still a top 10 team.
Right.
But we got some weeks to get it together because just like a lot of other teams, we we had that big game early, and
Yeah.
then we give ourselves a you know
A cupcake.
cupcake game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got an SEC schedule this year. They gave us a couple of cupcakes. Maybe, yeah, we doing it like that.
Not an
You know what I'm saying?
SEC schedule. Oh,
We
that's
doing it
just
like
brutal. All right,
that.
I'll address Notre Dame first. Uh, Obviously, people have respect for Marcus Freeman and what he's doing. Uh, I would say I think the defense came out a little bit on the lackluster side. They did their best at the end to feverishly hold the, to me, more athletically talented Canes in place so that the offense could come back. Um, the issue that the Golden Domers are going to have this year is there's not that big presence in the backfield that could steady them offensively. They're going to need that.
Mhm.
They're going to need that uh, because you can't have Lloyd Carr's grandson wing it all over the field. Because you're going to have more results like this. And I'm not
Right.
saying that he did a bad job in the game. I'm just saying when you rely on your QB to basically throw you into a game and throw you to a lead in the game, more often than not, you're going to have a defense, one that is actually as athletically talented as the Canes, that will go after you and mess you up. So I feel that the offense is going to be lacking that firepower in the backfield, and that's going to do them in, and they may not make the playoffs, which that would suck and go against my prediction, but they can't have that. Now for the Canes, and I've said this to the fellow Cane, I've said this to the Cane fan. I said, the way they looked, and I was only basing through the first three quarters. I said, you know what, the way they looked, they may not be the 2001 to 2003 version, and they definitely are not the late 80s, early 90s. But this team looks talented on both sides of the ball, and they may be on the come up faster than you think. I was impressed. I was impressed by the energy of the team, both sides of the ball. I was impressed by the fact that this reminded me of those U teams where it's like, okay, we are on the field, we are the better athletes, we are better coached, we are better prepared, and there's nothing you can do about it. They had that attitude and they walked it out. I like seeing the U looking like that because I haven't seen them look like that in a long time. If they can, and I agree with you, if they can put 60 minutes together, oh, they can break many hearts in 2025. But I agree with you. If they
Guarded
have a lead,
optimism.
they got to put the foot in the throats and they got to kill their opponent.
Guarded optimism. That's where I'm
Yeah.
at. Guarded optimism. I know they're number 5, and that's great,
Mm-hmm.
but guarded optimism.
Yeah.
You
But
better,
I agree with you. They got to have
right.
the killer instinct. That when they see the blood coming out of the body, they got to make sure the blood gushes further. They got to make sure that they're going for the kill, and they didn't in this game, but they were fortunate to come up with a dub.
I'll even give you a quick comparison point. So if you ever played the Assassin's Creed game, right? Assassin's Creed,
Mm-hmm.
when they jump down on their target,
Mm-hmm.
you then got to release your hidden blade. You got a few times. Make sure you're taking them out.
Hidden blade.
Or if you got to Assassin's Creed um, Revelations,
Mm-hmm.
the hidden hook and blade.
Mm-hmm.
If you know, you know. If you don't, just stay with the hidden blade. All right, so we'll move on here, guys.
But the U might be
We're not
back
even
though.
gonna do no commercials today. We're just going straight through. We're gonna talk, and then we're gonna be done. We got another week of really solid top 25 matchups. We're gonna do them this week in time order, not
Okay.
regular time order.
Not right.
So
Time. Okay.
we're gonna start at 12 p.m. noon Eastern Standard Time. We have Kennesaw State traveling to number 23 Indiana. This is the same as Miami playing Bethune Cookman.
Basically.
Kennesaw State gonna get a fat check. Indiana
Mm-hmm.
gonna get a nice win on their resume.
Correct. One. I agree with you.
Then we got your boys also at 12 noon. Number 7 Texas against San Jose State University. I would hate to be a player on San Jose
Oh
State
man.
University, and if I was injured and on the cusp of
Oh.
returning this week, I think I may have to shoot a fashion about my progress because I think Texas might put up 70.
The motivation is there for them to dog walk San Jose State. I think the Aztecs are probably going to really hate the trip to Austin. And I don't think the soothing of, getting a 7-figure check is really worth this butt whooping. Yeah, I agree.
Yes, sir. All right, then we've got Kent State traveling to number 24 Texas Tech. Woo boy. Texas Tech, you better not lose to Kent State. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I'm going Texas Tech for sure.
Well, I'm going for Texas Tech too, but are we going to be expecting the dog walk them like they did their opponent last week? Not so sure about that though.
It's gonna be hard to to top the dog walking last week, but it still
Right.
should be at least a 50 burger, late
Yeah.
40 burger. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
maybe not almost 70, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
Then the first one also still at 12, so we still at 12, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Number 11, Illinois is traveling to Duke to play the Blue Devils. I'm picking Illinois in this game. I think Duke will cover. If you're a betting person, I don't really bet yet. I'm starting to work my way into it. Just slowly but surely. I think Duke will cover the line, but I think Illinois gets the win.
Same. I think Illinois wants to prove that they can hang with the Penn States, the Oregons, the Michigans, and Ohio State. So I think they want to be on a mission. They want to prove that teams like Duke can't hang with them. But I do agree with you. I think Duke will cover.
All right, then we have the Baylor Bears. We still at 12, y'all. Still at 12. Traveling to number 17 SMU. And just for poops and giggles, this game is going to be available on Fubo TV and the ACC network.
Oh my gosh.
SMU, if you don't go out here and make a statement against the Bears, I'm going to be very upset because I need some ACC teams besides Florida State and Miami to actually win big games. And of course, Georgia Tech with the win over Colorado. Um, but yeah,
Now, if you come out like poop butts, SMU, I'll be smiling.
I know
But
you will.
I'll be smiling wide.
I know you will.
But considering that the opponent's Baylor and it's in your house, I don't see that happening. I think SMU will be. I think SMU will gallop literally all over the Bears. I just don't. I don't see Baylor putting forth a lot of a challenge for SMU.
All right, then we have Iowa traveling to number 16, Iowa State. I'm gonna go Iowa State here. Like you always talk about home field,
Mm-hmm.
and they're the superior team.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with Iowa State.
Yeah, they are. I'm sorry. Iowa State is the superior team. Um, I know they normally do play close games mostly, but I'm not as big of a fan of Iowa as I am of Iowa State. Iowa State feels as though they can actually contend for the Big 12 championship. Iowa's just playing out the string, and they want to basically disappoint a big dog this season. So
Fair.
yeah.
Still at noon, y'all. A lot of these games are at noon. Still at noon. We have FIU, Florida International University, traveling to Penn State. Number 2, Penn State. Penn State.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. James Franklin, you should enjoy these games. And I say that because when you start to play teams like Ohio State, which you will be playing them in November, you'll be one to look back at these games and hope that you would have the type of success that you're going to have this Saturday. You should boat race FIU.
And I want to say, anytime you play a team that has like an East or a West in front of their name,
Yeah, the directional school.
you better boat race them. And number
Mhm.
14, Florida State, you better treat East Texas A&M that way.
I agree that they should, it should be like how it used to be when you would watch games of these types of caliber, where it's like, oh, this is basically just scrimmage tape. But it's considered a live game.
Right.
That's how it should be. It should be that, and hopefully they will play like that.
Number 19, Texas A&M is hosting Utah State. It's time to get that number up, Texas A&M. You're gonna have to boat race them to do it. You should.
Yeah. Now, I would love for Utah State to upset you, but I know that's not going to happen.
I would share that love.
A&M wants to prove that, and they've been like the little engine they could in the SEC. They've been wanting to prove that they can hang with everybody in the SEC, and I think they want to actually show that they can be amongst that. One of the ways they can show it is actually prove that we love to accept those. We love to give out those 7-figure checks and put forth 40-point beatdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they should in this game.
Yeah, we love to giveth and we love to whoopeth your ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. The aforementioned number 1 Ohio State are playing Grambling State. Now, when I say boat racing,
man,
that's gonna be nasty. That's gonna be nasty.
Yeah, that's man, that's my cousin's alma mater. I hate this. But he knows the deal.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
Yeah, it's all about that money. Mm-hmm. Yep. Ohio State, they are where they're supposed to be. I figured they were going to be ranked the number 1 ranked team in the country. I don't think they're the best team in the country, but they're where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, based on preseason rankings, they're where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, this is like I said about the oh Lord. What I said about the the Florida State East Texas A&M game. Same thing here. This will be scrimmage tape for Ohio State.
Then we had another East team, and we already told you about those directional schools. East Tennessee State travels to number 22 Tennessee to help Tennessee get back in the top 20.
Basically.
And I think they're going to accomplish their goal.
Yeah, they are. What I said about A&M, Tennessee goes the same way. They want to show and prove that they can hang with Florida and they can hang with Alabama, and they want to disappoint both of them when they play them later on in this season. And yeah, they can start by stacking up against East Tennessee State, eat some more in Neyland Stadium, and they can just sing good old Rocky Top ad nauseum there.
We got so the Texas A&M Utah game is 12:45, and then Grambling, Ohio State, East Tennessee, Tennessee, and the next game, and a few others are at 3:30. Next, we have a top 5 team, Georgia, being, how can I say this? Leading Austin Peay to execution on Saturday.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will see an execution between the hedges. If Austin Peay can put off 14 points, I'll be shocked. I would be shocked.
Unless it's 5 field goals.
Yes. Now, if it's 5 field goals, then I can see that. But other than that, no. I think
2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Georgia will have their way with Austin Peay.
I honestly don't even think they'll be able to get close enough to make 5 field goals either. But I'm just saying that would be reasonable.
Yeah. Right.
We got number 20 Ole Miss traveling to Kentucky, who, if you're not aware, has had a little bit of a, we'll be kind of say, fall off in their football play lately. Ole Miss.
Yeah. All right. So, well, cool. It's strange how it is. I could say Cool lives in SEC country, but he lives more in ACC country, really. Now I'm in Tennessee, so it's real SEC country here. Ole Miss has been massively disappointing. They get these wonderful recruits. They get these ball out quarterbacks to boot, and they have these disappointing seasons. And this is the type of game they will actually lose. Now, I think they'll win this game, but
this is the type. I 100% agree. This is the type.
This is the type of game you're like, oh yeah, Ole Miss, they're playing whomever. Oh yeah, this should be a W, and they'll walk away with an L. And you're like, how the hell you do that? This is the type of game where I can see that. However, I'm going with Ole Miss because I don't think Kentucky has enough to put the L on Ole Miss, even though this game is in Lexington.
2 or 3 years ago, Kentucky would have got them. But
yes,
right now,
yes, I agree with that. No, right now, no.
Then we got Oklahoma State, another 3:30 game, traveling to number 6 Oregon.
Good Lord.
Long day for Oklahoma State.
Long day. It'll be a long day for Oklahoma State, but I'm sorry, Cool. Whenever I see Oklahoma State, I think of Mike Gundy. Whenever I see Oregon, I think of Dan Lanning. And when both of these two schools play, it's like I wish it was back when we were children, where college games would end in a tie. I'd be rooting for one with this game, but it's not going to happen.
I thought they were a few times.
Yes, it's not going to happen this game. Oklahoma State, they're going to be led to slaughter. And we're gonna see a beat down in Eugene.
Yeah. And speaking of lambs led to the slaughter, Troy has to go in and play number 8 Clemson after their loss.
Oh, yeah.
In Death Valley.
Yeah, that's not gonna be good. Yeah.
Clemson just needs to be a 70 burger, guys.
Yeah. Clemson has a point to prove, and I think they want Troy to be served up, and they want to treat them as if they're doing a 7-on-7. Yeah, all 60 minutes.
Clemson is a team full of grown men, so they're going to be upset that they lost.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think 90% of Clemson, and of course I'm being facetious, are old enough to go and buy alcohol legally.
I mean, heck, I picked them to win ACC, so
They still can.
I know, and they still can.
Yeah, they still can.
I do like the fact that I think their physicality has not been threatened, so they still have what it takes to do that. Oh, this might be one of those. This might be one of the most lopsided games this weekend.
Clemson wants to get back any of the already lost. It better be. Then we got USF, the University of South Florida, and this is your first 4-15 game, traveling to number 13 Florida, and one Mr. Darnell, the playmaker, Silence. You'll be happy to know that I think I'll speak for both of us when I say we're picking Florida.
Yes. South Florida has nothing for Florida, nothing on them either.
Nothing around them, nothing over them, nothing under them.
Nothing over them, nothing under them, nothing beside them. I mean, no, South Florida is not going to be hanging with Florida. The Gators, they're going to bury the Bulls in the swamp. Yes.
Cal Poly travels to number 25 Utah. Utah said we're trying to get that 25 at least up to 24 this week, maybe 23. It's a good week to do.
Well, the Utes want to they want to compete for the Big 12 championship too. Yeah, I think Cal Poly. I think they're going to see that the money may be good, but the play is going to be horrible. Sorry for you.
Sorry for ya. And then South Carolina State travels to number 10 South Carolina. Like I said, this really should be called the check week.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
South Carolina's definitely destroying them.
South Carolina this year, they want to be where Texas and Georgia was last year. So, anything I think that's not those two, they want to prove you don't belong on the field with us. And South Carolina State, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know you all are happy to get the money that you got, but yeah, that won't be a fun trip to Columbia.
Yeah. Another check game. I'm gonna start calling them.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Bethune-Cookman.
Oh, this definitely is a check game.
Is traveling to Miami.
This most certainly
Florida.
Yeah, not Ohio. Yes,
not Ohio. And I am sorry, Bethune-Cookman. I myself am a graduate of a HBCU, so I do apologize on what's going to happen to you on 7 p.m. on Saturday.
This should make you happy, though, Cool, because I think if the Hurricanes coaching staff is worth anything, I would have had them say what you have said. You're lucky to have beaten Notre Dame. You're lucky to have beaten them. In fact, the way you played the fourth quarter, I would say you didn't belong on the field with them. I hope they actually said that to the U, and the players go out. Yeah, the players will go out. They'd be pissed off all week, and then they will take it on the Bethune-Cookman on Saturday. Because that's what I would tell them. That's what I would tell them. That's
exactly what needs to happen. No disagreement from me.
Yeah.
All right, we got number 3 LSU hosting Louisiana Tech. Man, there's one top 25 matchup this week. It's not this one, Louisiana State.
Definitely not this.
Yeah, LSU is going to go in Louisiana Tech and give them that word. I'm using the small corner Louisiana State University coach voice for Brian Kelly.
It almost sounded like a combination between Brian Kelly and Ed Orgeron, but
I think that's what that voice was, but yeah.
Probably so. LSU, I think they want to show that what happened in Clemson, it's a sign of things to come, not they lucked up. So they got
Absolutely.
to come out. They got to come out and smash Louisiana Tech. They got to come out and smash them. It's a
Or as I
must.
like to say, whoop that trick.
Yeah, they definitely have to whoop that trick. They got to treat Louisiana Tech like a trick and whoop them. I agree. I totally
Number
agree with that.
12, Arizona State, also 7:30 p.m. game, travels to Mississippi State, and they should be for a second week in a row sticking their trident through some bulldogs.
I agree. I don't. Okay, I'll be blunt. Mississippi State basically is the welcome mat for the rest of the SEC. So Arizona State should walk into Starkville. They should silence those doggone cowbells by the third quarter. They should. Now, will they? It's a different story. But they should silence those cowbells by the third quarter.
Fair enough. Our only top 25 matchup this week. So clearly they didn't get the memo about this was Cupcake Week. Um, Number 15, Michigan travels to number 18, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
So Michigan gonna go be on in there in Norman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still gonna go with Michigan. I just think they're a better team.
Mm-hmm.
But another top 25 matchup, and again, there's no way this game shouldn't be on TV with other games around it.
Right.
I just think they're a better team, a little bit more hungry, and they don't want to be at 15. They don't want to be looking up and seeing all these teams ahead of them when they feel like they have championship aspirations. So this is a game like you've been talking about with a lot of these cupcakes we've been seeing. This is an opportunity to go out and let people know, um, Michigan, we ain't playing, and I think they'll do it.
Now, of course, I want the Wolverines to beat down the Sooners. That's obvious. However, this is the fan hat, this is the analyst hat. I agree with you 100%. I think the Wolverines are the more talented team, and I think we're going to see a good game too.
Oh yeah, very good game,
Yeah,
very tight. This will be
yeah,
this will be the net booty tight.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think we're going to see a good game. I personally think this will probably be the game of the week, and not just because they're ranked in the top 20, but Michigan has more talent, and to me, I think they have the bigger motivation. And you said it. They should look up. So you mean to tell me people thinking that Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, and Illinois are better than us?
Right.
Bump that. That's all the motivation to me I think Michigan needs. And I agree. I think they'll walk into Norman, they'll get a dub.
Louisiana Monroe is traveling to number 21 Alabama. I will say this: I do think Alabama will get a win this week, but DeBoer and his, let's say, strange coaching style, we'll say, I think this game will be closer than it really should be. It should be 28 plus win. I don't think it'll be that big of a win, but I think they'll convincingly win against Louisiana Monroe. If they don't beat Louisiana Monroe, DeBoer might disappear before he can get fired.
Well, I said that they will probably have a get Kalen DeBoer out of here fundraising drive after the Florida State L. Now, if they would have tanked this game, oh my gosh, Tuscaloosa will be thinking, oh yeah, the sky is truly falling. And I will translate what Cool said about DeBoer and his coaching style. Basically, Cool is saying DeBoer coaches whack, booty, hot garbage, trash.
It's factual.
I mean, you got all that talent, and you mean to tell me you have them put lackluster effort on the field? So this should be a dub. This should be an easy dub. But with with DeBoer on the sidelines, you don't know. And that's a scary thing to say.
Or depending on who you are. For me, it's a fun thing to say.
Well, yeah. Right. Well, it's fun for me too. Fun for me too. I'm not a Crystal Tide fan or a hater. I was like, it's whatever with them. But yeah.
We'll save it for another week. I'll give y'all guys my issue with Alabama. We'll save it for another week though. Still got a lot of good NFL news for you
Mhm.
guys, as well as our picks for the week, and a little review of my Philadelphia Eagles, your reigning and defending world champions,
Yes, they
coming
are.
out and finding a way to win. Not beating the Cowboys, finding a way to win. But before we get into that, a couple pieces of news.
Okay.
I'm gonna start off with the one I want to get done with first.
Okay.
So there has been significant talks of Taylor Swift being the halftime performer
In the
for
Super Bowl
the
this year.
Super Bowl this year.
Hmm.
I will say this. Let's just get it over with.
Okay.
I'm not excited about it. Like, I have a daughter, be Swifty. So heard a lot of her songs or whatever, but I'm not excited about Taylor Swift performing at the Super Bowl, but we know it's going to happen. So why not just let her go ahead and perform, and then her and her fiance can ride off into the sunset after this season.
Hmm.
So that's my take. Let's just get it over with. What's your thoughts, Cole?
Um. Look, you might as well have her be on halftime performer. Uh, I don't really care about her music. I don't hate it. I don't like it. Now, Taylor herself, she's cool. I'm not saying that I'm a fan of her, but she's not a bad person. And Travis Kelsey is cool, although I think he is culture vulture, a culture appropriator. No, oh, I didn't mean to say that out loud. I'm sorry, my bad. Um, if the Chiefs make it to Super Bowl, that would make it even worse. but but if Taylor Swift is going to be the halftime performer, cool. If not, that's cool too. But I think all signs are pointing to her having that moment in February, and it doesn't matter to me.
Me either. But yeah, I agree. It's probably going to happen, but yeah, it doesn't matter to me either.
Hmm.
Um, and another piece of more exciting and fun news for me, Micah Parsons was traded for two first round picks and a All Pro defensive tackle. I'm not even gonna say the name. I'm just gonna say All Pro defensive tackle. Um, to the Green Bay Packers. What, like a week before our game?
Hmm.
Your
Almost
thoughts?
exactly the week before.
Yeah, your thoughts are on the Michael Parsons trade.
I'm going to get to the funniest part a little later, but I gotta give it to the Packers. Although I still think that how can I be nice? I still think that that the loafers are full of sugar. I think the booty's a little soft. Uh, you made a good move. You made a good move. That was a need that y'all had, and you filled it. You filled it with having a guy who can be a disruptor on defense, and you needed a disruptor on defense. And you caught Jarrell, I guess, not taking his dementia pills, and he was willing to make that deal. Because how on earth would you want to deal your best player on your team for a decent defensive tackle? And okay, fine, you get 2 first-round draft picks in return too, but still, why would you want to trade away your best player on defense? Oh, I get why. Because um, Micah wanted to sign for 4 years and 48 million. Jarrell wanted to sign up for 5 years and 40 million. So it looks like they couldn't come to terms with $8 million and a year less.
Oh, and don't
That is
forget,
what got traded.
don't
Sorry, go ahead.
forget, he had the nerve to want to have his agent be part of the negotiations and
Yeah.
not just deal with Gerald Jones directly and
Mm-hmm.
actually use the person that he's paid to handle contracts for him to handle the contract.
Mm-hmm.
And Gerald was not happy with that either.
No.
The nerve of him.
The nerve of the player to actually be intelligent enough to not be swindled and to not be cajoled by heartstrings. Well, the star means a lot, and you have an affinity for being on the star. You know how I treat Michael. I treat Michael very well. I'll treat you well too.
Michael. He called them both Michael.
Call him Mike. And you know I like you, Michael. Sir, it's Micah, not Michael. I said that, Michael. But I find it hilarious. I'm like, what? And of course, what made it even more hilarious to me was you had Michael Irvin on ESPN hours before the trade was finalized, and of course the
Adamant.
scuttlebutt was, yeah. Of course the scuttlebutt was he was going to get dealt, possibly get dealt, and he was adamant in saying, "There's no way Micah Parsons is going to get traded." And
Not so fast in Lee Corso's voice. Not so fast.
not so fast, my friend. And the beauty of it was seeing Cowboys fan one after another wanting to submit their resignation being Cowboys fans. Oh, I loved it. Oh, it was beautiful.
There's
That
room
was
at
a
the
great
link for
that was a
y'all
great
too,
day.
by the way. You want to stay in the
That
same division? There's room at the link for y'all.
that was a great day. That was a great day. I loved it.
It was. All I'm gonna add is great job, Gerald Jones. And there is a rumor that the Eagles submitted a higher offer, but Jerry Jones was like, "Oh heck no! It don't matter what you give. I am not sending him to
Mm-mm.
Philadelphia, so
No.
he can do to us what Saquon did to the Giants last year. We're not going to do that, Philadelphia."
Nope.
And I think it's also very, very telling and lacking of intelligence that you trade by far your best player within the same
Same
conference.
conference. Why
There's
would you
no
do
way.
that?
There is no way that as an Eagles fan, I would be happy if Howie were to trade one of our best players within the same conference. For instance, CJ Gardner Johnson, we ended up trading him, right? Where you go? The
The Texans.
AFC.
Yeah, went to a whole different conference, right? Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't like the move at all, but at least he had
I
sense
don't
enough
like
not
for
to
y'all
send
either.
him to another NFC team.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Great job, Gerald Jones, all around. I say that we should find a way to preserve life to allow Gerald Jones to live to about 150 or so. I am for it. I am for
Preserve
it.
life.
As long as Gerald Jones is in charge of the
Not
Cowboys,
preserve life.
I am
Oh,
loving Jerry. He is doing a great job. And just like the Eagles fans
oh
always tell him
no.
when he comes to Dallas, we clap for him and tell him how great of a job he's
Mm-hmm.
doing.
Right.
And
Oh Lord.
he tries
Preserve life.
to play it off. But
Yeah,
there's
he
no
does.
way it doesn't bother him. Yeah,
Of
preserve
course it
life.
bothers him. Of
You
course.
got to preserve life. You got to preserve life.
I said, gotta preserve
You got to
life.
preserve. Certain people just need or require or have given enough to the
Oh
game
my
that they should
gosh.
have extended time to continue to be part of the game. And Gerald Jones, as a non-Cowboys fan, is definitely one of those people.
This
You may
man
feel
will be
differently as a Cowboys fan. I'm not, so I definitely want him there.
this man is going to be 83 in more than 5 weeks. You want him to be preserved for another 70 years?
Let's get another 70 of Gerald Jones. I think the league deserves another 70 years of Gerald Jones, and the Cowboys definitely deserve another 70 years of Gerald Jones.
Well, I'll be thoroughly entertained, yes. But oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I think he's general manager on life support as it is not right now. Oh my gosh, another 70 years of this. Oh, that would be entertainment.
My kids
that you couldn't
could still be
buy.
laughing at Gerald.
Yes, that'd be entertainment you couldn't even buy.
Yeah.
That'd be better than that. Oh my gosh.
I'd be in heaven looking at LA. I love it. Thank you, Lord, for allowing me to just see that he's still there. I'm good. I'll go back to, singing in the choir and stuff now. I just needed to see that. I'm good.
Oh my gosh. To preserve a life.
And then we'll move on to Thursday Night Football because the next story begins with Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
We had 24-20 Philadelphia Eagles victory over the Dallas Cowboys.
Congratulations to your Eagles, by the way.
Oh, yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We made the game very difficult on ourselves. What correction? Jalen Carter
made it difficult
made the game difficult on us. But there's a piece to the story that some people know and some people don't. I'm not justifying. I'm just saying baiting and goading a player that has a high temperament is something that happens.
That's true.
In my opinion, Rain Dakota Prescott definitely did that. If you watch the video, you can see he spits in the direction of Jalen Carter. He smiles, he's laughing, he's behind two of his linemen. He mouths something to him. You can't really see it because the angles change. And then Jalen Carter ends up walking up to him and then ends up after a little bit more back and forth spitting on him.
Right.
Due to that, he was kicked out of the game before the first snap because this happened after Ben Van Sumeren, our starting fullback, got hurt on special teams.
Yeah.
There are a few players on the Philadelphia Eagles that we guarantee are going to be hurt. Oh, he's definitely in that group. Ben Van Sumeren's in that group. Forgive me for being honest. So is Dallas Goedert. And so is Sidney Brown.
Guaranteed? Oh, that's cold.
Guaranteed that they're going to get injured sometime during the season.
Oh, no.
Guaranteed.
Oh, wow.
So, number one's out of the way. See how long he's out. But it was definitely going to happen.
He's guaranteed to be hurt. Oh, my gosh.
And the other one, he ain't even playing yet. So, I guess hopefully this is his injury, which is Nakobe Dean. But
yeah, you're right about Nakobe Dean.
So we did end up getting a 24-20 victory.
Yes.
This game was basically 2.5 quarters, and then the thunder and lightning stoppage, and then we just threw the ball down the field and got some first downs, and then put it back to the other team the rest of the time.
Right.
Like both offenses were just putrid after that last stoppage.
Yeah.
But I'll take the win. I take them anyway. It could have been 23-24.
I still take it. It's still 1 point more than the opponent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Eagles got the win. I'm happy about that. Your thoughts on the game, Colin? Also, your thoughts on one Jalen Carter?
Okay. Your analysis is perfect of the game. It was a tale of two different games. The first 2.5 quarters, it seems like the defense had no clue as to how to stop the opposing offense, no matter if it was the Cowboys offense against the Eagles defense or vice versa. And then, after the stoppage and getting back on the field, it was like the offense was like, okay, both sides. So, the game's over for the exception of the Eagles got just enough first downs to put the game out of reach for the Cowboys.
Yep.
So for a first game of the season, it actually was pretty good. It was, and I don't have any really interest, Eagles or Cowboys. It was
That's not game. Really true, Cole. That's not really true.
Well, I mean, okay, all right. No, I'm talking about the teams themselves. I don't have any interest.
There is not really true because there's one team that you do not want to win under any circumstances.
But that's what I'm saying. Yes, you're correct. You're absolutely correct. But I got what I wanted. I got an entertaining game, and that was good. And to me, the Cowboys, they still have the issue of running. They need to run the ball. And George Pickens, Great that you got him, but you still didn't address the need on offense that you needed, which is you got to put a running game on the field to take the pressure off Dak Prescott so he won't be throwing the ball 40, 50 times in the pocket. But Gerard was busy wanting to deal Micah Parsons and not deal with an offensive line that's and a running back by committee that's horrible. I digress. Now, for the Eagles, the only issue I have with them is the secondary. And I'm thinking that you're starting to see possible weaknesses there. I like what I'm seeing still with the linebacking core, and of course the defensive line.
Without Jalen Carter, they were still.
And without Jalen Carter, they were beasts, especially after the stoppage. Yeah, Jordan Davis, the man. I called him the man child. He's getting back up to the man child status. They're stout. They're stout in the front, the first two lines of defense. They're stout there,
and they're stout on the left side of the defensive backfield. They're very stout on the left side.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, you also have a right side.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the only. That's the only out the whole team. That's my only issue with the Eagles. Outside of that, I'm loving what I'm seeing on offense. They're still bullies. They still push you off the line. Saquon, he didn't have to give you 20 carries, didn't have to give you 100 yards because the Cowboys decided to play 11 on 10 with Jalen Hurts and not behind center, and they gave him free run to have him scramble for 10 yards. So I'm like, come on, man, you got to scramble the QB, you got to spy him sometime, spy him, just one or two plays, spy him, and I'll give you kudos on this one. Cool. The maturation process with Jalen Hurts is over. The dude is a bona fide NFL QB because he will take what the defense gives him, and that is a danger. That is a problem for opposing defenses, and that's going to make the task for defenses even more difficult because they're going to have to try to contain Hurts, and he's making the right decisions with the ball all the time. Now, for Jalen Carter, sir. You are the best player on the team. I would even go so far as to say you're the best player on the team, period. Even with Saquon Barkley, even with Jalen Hurts. You're the best player on the team. You're the most talented player on the team. For you to not even have a snap on the field and you get goaded into spitting, period. But to get goaded into spitting in the direction of the Dallas Cowboys quarterback is utterly immature and insane. You got to know better than that. You got to know these teams will want to take you off the field any way they possibly can. If they can't double team you, they'll have you disqualified. You saw that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have your head on your shoulders, man, because you are that talented. You are that important of a cog to the Eagles' fortunes. Wasn't the playoff run not good enough for you to understand that? That's the only issue I have with Jalen. I mean, because the dude has talent. The dude just oozes talent. It's to the point where he could be double teams, and he's almost getting to be like Aaron Donald standards, where it's like you can double team me. I'm still going to make a play late, and you're still going to have to do nothing, and you still can't do nothing about it.
Just got to use this more.
That's the only issue I have with him. He needs to keep his head, and the fact that he got goaded into spitting in Dak Prescott's direction, I'm like, come on, Jalen, you got to be more mature than that.
Yeah, I'll give a full breakdown. This is a cheap plug, y'all. This coming Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern at Eagles Elite Podcast on YouTube. I'll give a full breakdown. But for today,
okay,
what I'll quickly say is Adoree Jackson is not a starter on the Philadelphia Eagles at quarterback. There is no way possible that you're going to convince me that he's a starter. Maybe he's a backup as he gets, quote unquote, comfortable. She should already be, but quote unquote, comfortable with the defense. But Jacorian Bennett looked miles better than him, and he's only been there for half a camp. He looked miles better than him. And I also quickly just say, this is basically training camp for these guys, right? This is like a training camp game almost, because they don't play in the preseason.
Right.
My biggest issue is you don't give your guys enough time in the preseason. So your first couple of games, you come out and you have a lot of you come out flat. And you have a lot of over exaggeration and people trying to bet what's going to happen with teams during the season, good or bad, based off one game.
Right.
You're going to have to get to about week 3 or 4 before we start to actually see the teams play NFL regular season football. So just keep that in mind as you watch this week. Don't get too high or too low based on what your team does. All right, so let's get to this these previews here. So Friday, September 15th, Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, free on YouTube. First time ever free on YouTube. So you ain't got to go use other sites. I don't want to name none because I don't want them to get an idea of what people are doing, but I know none of them to watch the game. Just watch it on YouTube. The Kansas City Chiefs technically at the Chargers.
So this is the Chargers home game. Okay.
But they're in Brazil.
Yeah, they're in Sao Paulo. Yeah.
Okay. They're exactly on that raggedy field that the Eagles played the
exact same. The Packers last year. The exact
Thankfully,
same field.
They got two teams that don't have green in their logos this year because green is one of the prominent game colors in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Did not know that until started hearing about it with the Eagles.
The week of, yeah.
And how they had to be transported by armored car, both teams, and all this craziness. But it was fun once they got in the stadium. So, Cole, who do you have winning this game?
I have the Chiefs, but when these two teams play, it's always competitive. So I'm not going to say I'm not going to say the Chargers are going to get boat raced. I think the Chiefs they'll get the dub, but it will be either via last second field goal or a stoppage of Justin Herbert by Chris Jones.
Okay.
It's going to probably be that, but it'll be a really good, entertaining game, and it's going to be close. But I see the Chiefs winning it.
I'm going to take the Chargers. I think they're going to come out and run the ball. I think they're going to run the ball down their throat.
Now, I want to see that.
Back, so they're going to. So Justin Herbert has somebody that he feels comfortable slinging that rock to. McConkey, of course, came on, looked pretty good last year. So I think they have a decent little group of guys.
Now,
and I think they're going to.
I want to see what you said.
And I think they're going to find a way to win. Again, it's going to be close. So I think if they can control the time of possession, run the ball effectively, and make the right plays, which I feel like Justin Herbert's going to be able to do.
Yeah,
I think they can eke out a win here.
Now that's what I want to see. I want to see if the Chargers running game can actually do that. If so, they could be a problem. And I would love to see it.
Yeah, I'm believing them for now. We'll see. All right, 1 p.m. Eastern, Sunday. Buccaneers at Falcons. I'm gonna go with the Bucs in this one. Who you got, Cole?
The same. I look. The only positive I have about the Falcons would be Michael Penix and Bijan Robinson. Outside of that, I'm iffy on the rest of the whole team. The Bucs, the Bucs, they have just enough talent. To beat the Falcons.
I'm iffy on the rest of the team.
I'm iffy on the rest of the team. And I'm sorry, Raheem Morris, head coach of the Falcons. I'm sorry, Raheem. The jury's still out to me on the rest of the whole team. I'm sorry.
All right, then we got, which I'm going to call the highest scoring game of the week, the Cincinnati Bengals at the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, that's no question about that.
That between them have one great player on each team, Hendrickson and Myles Garrett. Other than that,
Myles Garrett.
These defenses are going to basically be running behind the offensive players for most of the game. If you have fantasy players on the Browns and the Bengals and you can find a way to get them in your lineup and it makes sense, I would definitely suggest you get them in the game because this might be 45-40 or 37. I'm telling you, man, the Browns are not good, but
no,
If the
They're not.
defense they're playing is not good either, which the
Hmm.
Bengals defense is not,
They're
this could
not.
be the track meet of the week. But I'm gonna go Bengals because their offense is better. Both defenses are not good.
Agreed. I agree with that. I'm also going with the Bengals. I love how you pointed out the the lone defensive talent on both sides of the ball having to be on the line, and outside
Mm-hmm.
of that, it's like okay, the other 10, they're horrible and they're putrid. Uh,
Hate to say it like that, but it's true.
it is. I'm sorry, it is. And what makes it even worse is that Garrett and Henderson, they are the total opposite in terms of talent. Uh, the lone issue I have with the Bengals is I want to see a running game with them. Look, it's cute that Burrow can throw the ball to Higgins and Chase all day long. That's great. They have the most explosive offense in the league, but you have a problem with keeping Burrow healthy because he has to drop back and pass so many times, and that offensive line is not all that great in pass protection. That's the only issue I have with them. Outside of that, yes, I think it's going to be a high scoring game, and I just don't have any faith in the Browns offense at all in terms of executing when they need to.
Yeah. And we have the Dolphins at the Colts. I am going to surprise some people with my pick here. I am going with
On the
Daniel
Colts,
Penny's and the Colts at
on the Colts.
home over Miami and Tua um and Tyreek beefing with the team and all that foolishness they got going on. They done reduced the amount of captains so Tyreek Hill can't be a captain and all that. A lot of discord there. I think Daniel Jones is going to look pretty good in a offense that actually has Jonathan Taylor, as
There you
Michael
go.
Pittman, and different options at wide receiver, and they never had a bad defense.
No, no,
So I
the
think
Colts
I'm,
don't.
I'm, I'm going with the Colts.
Yeah, the Colts don't have a bad defense. They don't have a great one, but they don't have a bad one.
Yeah, they
Uh,
got in the middle of the pack.
yeah, they're middle of the road. They can get you stops when necessary.
Yeah,
Um, this game's in Indy. Yeah, and with Tua being iffy because he sometimes
the
looks
rest of
great.
his career.
Yeah, sometimes he looks great. He looks like he's the best quarterback in the league. Not saying that he is, but sometimes he looks that way, and then other times he looks like he's a fish out of water. It just looks horrible. So yeah, that along with Tyreek Hill acting a fool and going through a divorce, and on the other end with Jonathan Taylor being the guy, I think that's going to tip the scales. I agree with you. I think the Colts win their home opener against the Dolphins.
All right, and Cole, I'm gonna go with you first on this next one. We got the Carolina Panthers, another 1 o'clock game,
Mhm.
versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, and this game is in Jacksonville.
Okay, who do I believe in more? Do I believe in a Trevor Lawrence that's reseeding, or a Bryce Young that is ascending a little bit?
Mm.
I I gotta go to Panthers. I just don't really feel that the Jaguars have what it takes to actually put forth even wins against a team they should beat. I just don't see it. So I'm going with the Panthers on this one.
Yeah, I'm actually throwing the ball. I'm gonna go with the Panthers, even though the Panthers have some issues at wide receiver. They
They do.
traded Thielen.
Hmm.
Um, their replacement in the slot is out injured. They did re-sign Hunter Winfro, who they did cut.
Okay,
But they have
they
two
did.
running backs. They have Chuba
Hmm.
and Rico Dowdle. And I think they're going to run the ball on the Jags. And I don't think the Jags, with the new head coach again, are going to be prepared week one because again, nobody plays in the preseason.
Yeah.
But I think the running game and the blocking, because the Panthers are pretty consistent on the offensive line. I live in Panther country. I hear about this stuff all the time, all day.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
But I think they'll be able to beat the Jags. Now, the
Hmm.
expectations a lot of fans have for them for the season maybe a little high, but I think that they can start out 1-0.
What, they think it'll be 9-8?
don't think they'll be
I know
10-8.
you don't think they will be. I said, dude, or they thinking they'll be 9-8.
They're thinking they could win up to 10 games.
I figured that was going
I
to be
think
the
that's
case.
2 to 3 games too much, but
I'm
yeah,
same.
maybe more. We'll see.
Hmm. Yeah.
Then we've got another game that I'm going to be very simple on. If you are playing the Raiders this year, who spent a first round pick on a running back on a team that Ashton Genty will have a good season as a running back because good runners
I
find a way
agree.
to get plays, but
Yeah.
you need an offensive line help. You needed the top tier wide receiver, and instead you went and got a running back.
Hmm.
Um, Patriots.
Patriots, I agree. The free agent pickups and the draft picks were slated toward rebuilding that defense, bolstering them up. I think they want to help out Drake May, and the only issue I have with the team now is if they can actually come up with a good running attack to help him out on offense. But the defense, I think, is going to be vastly improved. Yeah. Against a team of the Raiders where you have Geno Smith the quarterback, and the only hope and prayer you have is Ashton Chanty boogieing. Oh, and he can. He's an awesome running back. We saw him at Boise State. I think he's going to do some. I think he's going to do some things in Vegas. But I think the Patriots are going to. I think they're going to handle the Raiders though.
All right, we got the Cardinals and the Saints. So I have a belief within myself that
Hmm.
if you're playing the Cardinals, I'm probably going to pick you. If you're playing the Saints, I'm definitely going to pick you.
Hmm.
Um, but they're playing each other, and I have to
Hmm.
say I think the Cardinals at least have a feasible option week one because I don't think any new FPS games have came out in the last month. Um, so I'm going to go Cardinals.
You're wrong for that. All right, I'm going Cardinals. I'm going Cardinals too, unless they decide to have Taysom Hill uh, be like Tim Tebow and run and pass every play that they have on offense. Outside of that, the Saints really don't have much of anything, and at least the Cardinals have a good running attack and Marvin Harrison Jr. At least they have that.
At least. All right, then we have the Steelers traveling to the Jets. This is the first time in, well, I think it's what, like the fifth time in NFL history, I think I heard, where you have the quarterbacks for opposite teams that started the game playing against each other in week one. So
Hmm.
you got Fields now with the Jets. You
Right.
got Aaron Rodgers, the Mushroom Man, as I like to call him, now the starter for the Steelers.
Not the
Um,
mushroom man.
I think there's animosity between the former teammates of Aaron Rodgers
Yeah.
with the Jets,
Hmm.
and I don't think there's really animosity between Fields because they know that basically he got booted out. They didn't want him
Yeah. Right.
until he already signed. Then like once he's out available, it's like that girl you want to date, and then you start dating somebody, and now she want to date you. It was kind of like that
Hmm.
situation.
Right.
Um, I honestly think the Jets team hates Aaron Rodgers.
Hmm.
And I think they're going to win the game because they're going to be riding on high emotions and they want to see Aaron Rodgers take a L. They
Hmm.
asked Garrett Wilson, has he had any contact with Aaron Rodgers since he left? And Garrett Wilson basically said, no, I have not spoken to him since the season ended. Very short, very animosity filled.
Hmm. Well, I'm not the biggest fan of the ayahuasca sipping, toe picking, uh, Daughters Retreat having space cadet that's known as Aaron Rodgers. However, uh, I think he is a better fit for the Steelers than Justin Fields was. And conversely, I actually think the same. I think Justin Fields is a better fit for the Jets than Aaron Rodgers was.
Yeah.
Um, what I want to see in this game, I want to see the progression of Justin Fields. I want to see him mature now that he has the reins of another team. I want to see if he actually can learn how to actually guide a team to dubs and not have the game spoon fed to him like it looked last year when he did lead his team to a 4-2 record early in the season. but you sort of got the feeling that he was being spoon-fed the offense. And I mean spoon-fed as the game was going on. I think I like the Jets just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I love their defense. Their defense is underrated. And when I mean underrated, I mean they're talent-wise underrated. And they got a good enough running game. And I'm not talking about Fields that could help them out. Good enough. And of course, Garrett Wilson's what talented wide receiver. To me, the Steelers have too many question marks at running back, and other than Metcalf, wide receiver too.
Next was really easy for me. Giants at Commanders. Commanders.
Oh. Wise, I know that Wise Alefe, a boy.
It's not a knock against him, but they're not.
Who's a huge Giants fan. He says that he thinks that the Giants are going to have a really good year, and of course, it's buoyed by the fact that you have Russell Wilson, who's starting at QB for them. I just ain't feeling. I just ain't feeling them going to Landover to play them. I see the. Yeah, I see the Commanders too.
We got Titans at Broncos in the 405 games now, guys. I'm going to go Broncos. I think they looked really good last season. I think it's going to take some time for Cam Ward to adapt. There's not a lot of rookie quarterbacks that win their first start. I think he'll look good, but I don't think they're going to win this game. I'm going to go with Broncos.
Look, I'm going to tell you how much they love Cam Ward in Nashville. They love this kid.
Oh.
They love him.
Oh, I know.
They love him.
In Miami.
Yeah. First man in the office. They have to kick him out. Forget last man to leave. They had to kick him out of the facilities every night. I mean, they love him here. And you got two different teams that have two different goals. With the Titans, the goal is, can we keep Cam Ward upright and not have him turn the ball over and have a pretty decent game? If that's the case, no matter what the final score is, that's a victory for them.
Mm-hmm.
But for the Broncos, they want the dub, and they want to prove that last season was a fluke. That was not a fluke. I'm sorry. And so, if Brandon Nix can up his play in the second year of play for in the NFL for the Broncos, yeah, I think it's going to be the Broncos easily over the Titans.
Yeah, the 49ers traveling to the Seattle Seahawks, who no longer have Geno at quarterback. They now have Sam Darnold at quarterback. I say both teams should be solid defensively. McCaffrey's hurt. That's not a surprise. That's why they went and traded for Brian Robinson Jr. because, McCaffrey's just not going to stay healthy.
Right.
He's another guy you guarantee he's going to miss some games. But I think the 49ers have to me, the edge at quarterback, and I think that's going to be the difference in the game. So I'm going to go 49ers.
Well said. Well said. I think that is where the edge is. The 49ers also have roster a slight edge in talent too. But yeah, I agree. I think the quarterbacking is the edge, and I like Purdy over Darnold. So yeah, I picked the 49ers as well.
I'm going to have you pick this one first. I'm going to need another minute or two to ponder. We've got the Lions at the Green Bay Packers.
Lions.
You got to push the Packers a little bit up with Micah, but is it enough for them to expect them to beat the Lions? Cole, what say you, my good man?
All right. So here's the thing about this game. You have now a team in the Packers who they were also Rams, who last year they were 1-5 in the division, and they got swept by the Lions. So they have that to prove, and now they have stepped to Super Bowl possible contenders with Micah on the team. That's Micah, Gerald, not Michael. The Lions, they want to show that we gave you 15 wins last year, and we didn't complete our mission because we fell far short of it. And they have Aiden Hutchinson coming back from injury, among others, because the Lions were a mash unit last year. Oh my gosh, I think they had it. No joke. I think they had like 30 players on IR. So they have the talent to basically beat anybody. I'm thinking, and if this game took place at any other time of the year, I probably would pick the Lions. But considering that I think the Packers are getting the juice from, we got a new shiny toy like Reggie White in the 90s, like Charles Woodson in 2010. We got a bright new shiny defensive toy, and this is going to be our piece that's going to take us to the Super Bowl. Not saying that's going to be the case, but I know that's how Packers fan is thinking.
Oh yeah,
I think that energy is going to translate on the field and transfer on the field, and I believe the Packers will eke out a dub against the Lions.
I'm gonna go Lions. I think that Micah's having the back issues, so he may or may not play. If he does, he's probably not going to be 100%. Also, I have a question on how Micah Parsons fits into the Green Bay Packers scheme. Dallas was able to get a lot out of him because they kind of tailored the offense to his hybrid skills. So is Green Bay going to be able to do that from the beginning, or is it going to take some time to kind of assimilate the playbook and how you're calling plays and how you're using him to what he does best? So I'm thinking it's going to take some time. So I'm going to go Lions. Also, on a personal note, I hate the Packers this year because of the whole Chris situation. So I want them to lose every game. I understand that they're not because they're better than that, but yeah. So I'm taking that aside. I'm just putting that out there so you'll know as you hear rants throughout the year about the Packers, you'll understand why. But I do think, different cap on, not the fan cap, but analyzation cap. I do think the Lions are going to be able to pull out the victory here.
The Packers are still soft in cottonelle tissue. Sharman, they're still much softer than that, even with the addition of Parsons.
Sharman, whatever you
want. Yes.
Yeah.
They're very soft, and I'm just talking about on the field. Yes, that's exactly where I was going to go. They're mentally too soft, and I again, if this was week 2 to 18, I probably would go Lions. But since this is week 1, I think the energy is a little different. But I don't disagree with why you picked them, though.
Yeah, we got your Texans against the new look Rams with Devontae Adams as their number 2. That's cute. That doesn't win you games. I am going Texans. Who you got, Cole?
I like how you said that because people think that he's the number 1, but no, that's Puka Nacua.
That is Puka Nacua.
And it should be him.
You look at fantasy rings and it tell you who's the number 1.
And it should be Puka. The Rams defense I like. They're young, they're up and coming, and they'll keep the Rams in every single game. The Texas defense is physical, and I love the fact that they bring that physicality. Offensively, they want to be physical, and I think they're going to be buoyed by having not just Mixon, although I think he's going to be licking some wounds, but the new addition of Nick Chubb. I think his determination and wanting to prove that, I may have gone down with a knee injury, but I'm back, I'm up, I'm running, and that determination that he has in every single run that he makes, I think it's going to make a big difference. And to me, it breaks down who's going to get the usage out of who's running back more. Will it be Chubb with the Texans, or will it be Kyren Williams with the Rams? They're starting to learn in the Rams to run Williams more, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Houston's going to go into SoFi for the first time this year because they'll travel back there in December, and they'll beat the Rams.
I dig it. All right, Sunday Night Football. I'm going to be watching this one for sure. We've got the Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills. This is how you do a Sunday night football game in NFL, especially when you can't
Agreed.
flex it. This is how you do it.
Agreed.
I'm not betting against Lamar in the regular season. I'm going Ravens.
This is tough.
Now, you notice I said in the regular season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was on purpose.
Yeah. Of course it was. Of course it was purpose and on purpose. This is tough. The issue I have with the Bills is, can they commit to running James Cook? Because I think they want to have Josh Allen wear the Superman costume all year long. And I'm not saying that he doesn't have the ability to do that. Sometimes you just have to take the pressure off of him and have others be the players to step up. And because of that, I'm going with you. I think the Ravens will go into Western New York. I think they will get the W. And I think we will be seeing an impressive performance out of both Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. And yes, this game's in September. If this game was in January, I would go the opposite route too.
And then finally, Monday Night Football. 8:15 p.m. I'm gonna go do the whole thing since it's the Monday night game. I'm gonna get a Monday night game, a little extra promo time on ESPN, ABC, ESPN2, and ESPN Deportes, as well as ESPN 8 to Ocho. We've got the Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears. I'm gonna let you pick this one first, sir.
Okay. All right. So you have the Vikings, who coming off of a wonderful season, 14-3. Unfortunately, they stumbled in week 18, and then they got their butts spanked in the desert since they couldn't play in SoFi because Los Angeles was being burnt to the crisp.
Right.
So yeah. But this is not the same team from last year. Darnold's gone, and in place of him is JJ McCarthy. There's a lot of pieces also that are gone, especially on the offensive line for the Vikings. So I don't think they'll have the same type of success. Meanwhile, you have in the Bears, Caleb Williams, he's on the come up, and there is a little juice there. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to compete with the Lions or the Packers. No.
Right.
No. But I actually will say, I think the Bears will actually win this game.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, man. I don't say this much, but I trust Caleb Williams and his multi-nail colors and all that foolishness over the Vikings. Because I just don't know what we got with McCarthy yet. JJ McCarthy is a completely unknown. But I'm gonna have to go with the Bears in this game. If JJ McCarthy comes out and he's looking strong in his game and they win, or they, he's not the reason they lose, then maybe I'll have to adjust my expectations for him. But right now, I'm going to have to go with the seasoned quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm. And I just hope that Ben Johnson, who's the new head coach of the Bears, doesn't get too cute and actually puts forth a really good game plan, a solid game plan for Williams to execute. But I believe, because of the experience that Williams does have in NFL versus the inexperience that JT McCarthy has, that's the difference.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the end of the program for the evening. I appreciate this guy over here, Mr. Cole Johnson, for coming on.
Thank you, sir.
You will be back the first Friday of next month, and every first Friday, unless, of course, something comes up, to chop it up with me, talk some basketball. Once basketball season gets here, of course, we're deep in football now. Man knows the sports, as you can tell. So, any last words, any shout outs you want to give before we get out of here, Cole?
I'll give the first shout out to my man Wise Alefe. Appreciate you, brother, for everything you do. Doing big things, Real Wise Global and Real Wise Radio. Hope everything is good with you, man. Of course, give a shout out to our brother Chris Bass. He celebrated his birthday actually yesterday, so happy birthday again to you, my man.
He'll be on every 4th week.
Yeah, so yeah, he'll be on before me. So look, you're a tough act to follow, so I got to follow you every time I'm on here. So that's gonna be rough, but we'll give it my best shot. But man, much love to you and much respect to you, my man. And then of course our brother Playmaker, we love you, my man. You awesome. You coming up, and everything is good, bro. And again, thank you for inviting me here. And one more to the BS3 Network fam, my man Ben, my man Ivan. Love you both. I love you both, man. You all awesome. You all are doing big things. I'm looking forward to seeing the bigger things that we're going to be doing starting now in the 2025-2026 season. And of course to you, Cool. Big shout out to you, man. I'm glad that I'm actually adorning some of your platform, and I'm glad you extended the chair to me to actually do my thing. Thank you, my man.
Oh, no doubt, man. Needed that, man. Needed that. Got to get you a little Cole Johnson in your life.
I appreciate that.
No problem, man. So yeah, shout out to BS3. I do have a program that is on there, as well as Shady Sports Network, where you can find a lot of my content.
Shout out to you, Sam.
Yes, sir. At Real PlayCallers, and of course, anything to do with NFC Beast as well as Eagles, you can always find on at Eagles Elite Podcast on YouTube. Drop this link right here. I said I was gonna go upload it the other day. I didn't, but I'm gonna do it right after this. So by the time you see this, it'll be updated. You see all the places that you can find your boy at, and I'm gonna say this for Cole because he didn't. This man has a show with One Wise El Jefe. They haven't been able to do it, but it'll be back, called Mentality.
Yes, sir.
You need to watch the show.
Oh,
Men, you need to watch the show. I'm just gonna say that, ladies, you can watch it too if you like, but men, you need to watch this show.
Yes.
And hey, for my man Cole Johnson, y'all week 1 co-host, your boy Cool McCain, the new play callers. We out.